Hey family, I just wanted to say a couple of things. In light of the tragic um, transitioning of Whitney Houston, my heart is heavy because I really loved her music and from the things I've seen and heard, even in her interviews, I loved her. I felt very close to her. It was definitely a shock, and it became quickly very disheartening when I start to hear all the negativity and rumors, and even with the um, news magazines, the supposed sources of information. So many different stories were coming in, and the story changed. So they're jumping on the bandwagon of this sensationalism, and nobody's getting the story right. And I understand as a public figure, um, people are curious as to, oh my God, what happened? But the bottom line in most cases is, who cares how somebody passed? The fact of the matter is they're gone, and people are left grieving, and people should be allowed to grieve in peace. It's really, really disappointing, not just about Whitney, but the way people treat or have such a lack of respect for human life. Before the whole megastar, the voice, the whatever, she was a daughter. She was a mother. She was a sister. She was an in-law. She was a friend. She was an aunt. She was a humanitarian. Most important, she's a child of God. God created her. So she belonged to God. Um, Something we often forget in our comments and the things that we say is that from the day we're born, we're on a destiny to die. We're all going to die. And the thing about death is none of us know when it's going to come, where it's going to come, or how it's going to come. The other thing we often forget is that we are uniquely individual. We all have our own path, and the choices that we make are our own choices. Whether we do things what people think are right or people think they're wrong, it's our choices to make. And it's whatever happens, whatever path we go on, it's not over until God says it's over. Um, but I think about all the stuff and even in the news magazines, they start off with these beautiful pictures and then they go straight to the drugs. We all know she had speculated drug issues, whatever the case may be. But the point is, this family is grieving. It's very fresh. It hasn't even been a week yet. Can we just allow the family, the fans, the friends to just respectfully have their time to deal with this and to come to grips, to grieve, to whatever it is? Can we just respectfully do that? Um, put yourself in their shoes. Death is going to come to your family. And would you want everybody, no matter how good, bad, or indifferent the person was, because people always see whatever they want to see in a person. But imagine people being all up in your family's business, saying things, being there, this, that, and the other. It's disrespectful. No matter what you thought of the person, the people, whatever, let people grieve in peace. The other thing, I hear a lot of things about the drugs and the choices and this and the other. One of the things people just don't understand, you probably never understand, because one, you don't have the gift that these people, Whitney Houston, Michael Jackson, whoever has had. You don't know what it's like to have the pressure, the weight of the world on you. And people don't want to hear, I'm having a bad day. I had a headache. I'm a little hoarse. My child is acting up, whatever the case may be. They want you to get on stage every time and deliver. And most of the times, that's exactly what Whitney did. No matter what she was going through, she hit that stage, she hit those notes, she looked good, she sounded good, and it was amazing. And then at some point, people just say they love, oh, we love, 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 love you. But they love you as long as you're making money for them. So in actuality, they don't love you. They love what you're doing for them. And that's just disheartening. But I also know that, again, people are so quick to make comments and to judge, and specifically people who have never had a substance abuse problem or who has loved someone with a substance abuse problem. You say the most disrespectful, ignorant things. And I won't say everybody because I don't know everybody, but so many of us have somebody in our family or who we've loved who has had some sort of addiction problem. And a lot of people say they love people, but the love is in realizing that when someone has an addiction, specifically on drugs, they're no longer in their right mind. And love says, I'm not going to walk away. Love says, I love you enough that since I know you're not in your right mind to get help, I'm going to go to the counseling and learn what I can do so I won't trigger those things or to keep you in that space longer than you need to be. Oftentimes we say we love this, we love that one, but when it comes down to the wire, we're nowhere around. And then we want to come back when they're on the upswing. Love is there through the whole thing. People often say this, that, and the other, and I have to go back. When someone is addicted to a drug, they are not in their right mind. They make excuses, they do dumb things, they lie, but that's not the person anymore. And so whatever causes someone to decide to pick up a drug, whether it's stress or whether it's trying something out, if they get hooked on something, they're no longer the same, and we have to treat them. But I'm going back to, I know I'm kind of rambling, but it's just so disheartening to me, the lack of disrespect. Not at Whitney Houston, not at Michael Jackson, not at any of the celebrities or any of the people that died, but simply at life. We don't respect, value, treasure life the way we used to, and that's why it's so easy for us to say and do the things that we do. And it's like death comes to all of us. Sickness comes around to all of us, whether it's us directly or the people we love. And it's interesting to me how when we're going through something, we want everybody's empathy and sympathy, and we want people to mind their business and be there and give out their hand and give us their shoulder to cry on. But the minute things are going well in our life, we tend to forget what we've been through or that it's going to come away, because the pendulum swings both ways. And I remember as a kid in elementary school, there was just this basic rule: do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And I still live by that. And with the things that I've been blessed to go through and overcome, I've got even that much more of a greater appreciation for life and for my fellow man. I just want us to think before we speak, and then think again before we speak. Think of the jokes that we make just in normal everyday conversation, and think how it would feel if you were the butt of that joke, or some of the stuff that we say that we think absolutely nothing is wrong with it, but when you really break it down, some things are just absolutely disgusting. And so it makes me say to myself, with the things I've been seeing and reading, I'm just like, wow, did I used to do that? And if I did, I'm really sorry. This is my wake-up call. This is my reality check. So Whitney's death, Michael's death, whoever's death, was not in vain. No matter how you see it, it changed my life. And my heart goes out to Sissy Houston, to Bobby Christina, to all of her family. But, I mean, to lose a child at 48 was so young. To lose a child, but also at 18, to lose a mother that you were so close to, who was almost your best friend. But we don't take the time to just say, wow, this family's grieving. Whatever your religion is, let me send some prayers out to this family. Let me send some warm thoughts, some positive energy to this family. But we jump on the bandwagon and we get in these debates, and you know, I've seen and I've heard. I mean, I had to stop watching TV and I probably won't really watch certain things for another week or two or whatever. But we jump on the bandwagon and we say stuff about, oh, well, you know it was drugs, well, you know it was this, you know it was that. We don't know a thing. Bottom line, we're not coroners. We don't know a thing. And even if we are coroners, we don't have that body, so we don't know what's going on. We don't have toxicology reports. There are different things that happen to a person when they are substance abusers, when they are addicted. The mind changes, the body changes. So she may not have had anything in her system, or she may have had, but it may not have been an overdose. Her heart may have stopped. Anything could have happened, but we're so quick to rush to judgment and just say anything out of our mouths. And like I said, we forget the pendulum swings both ways. And everything that we put out, good, bad, or indifferent, comes back to us. And it may not come back to us directly, and it may not come back to us the way we put it out. But somebody that you love is going to be impacted by the things you do and say, and even your inactivity. Inactivity, is that right? But anyway, you know what I'm saying. So I just say, just think, just be more compassionate, be more loving. We often talk about, well, people often talk about how messed up the world is, but you're not doing anything to make it better. One person can make a difference, and you know, you may not have a big stage like Oprah had. You may not be able to walk out on a stage like Beyonce can and sing to a bunch of fans, but do your part. Life is very valuable, and you never know whose life you're touching. The Winans had a song called For We May Never Know, and it basically speaks about how people may not ever tell you how much of a blessing you are to their lives, or how much you inspired them. You may not even know these people existed. They may not ever get a chance to get close enough to even tell you. But you have to do the right thing by just living the best that you can be. And I'm not trying to say be a role model. I don't consider myself a role model, but I know that people are paying attention, and I know the right thing for me to do is the right thing for me to do. So I try to put out as much positivity as I can. But I just, again, I'm rambling a little bit, but my heart is just heavy at the loss, and in addition to the loss, the way a lot of people have been handling it, and thinking that for some reason it's not going to come to them, whether it comes in that fashion or another fashion. Death comes to all of us, and I want for you all to have the privacy and respect and the time to grieve, just like I want for their family. And I think that's pretty much what I wanted to say. So thanks for your time. Thanks for letting me vent and get it on out. I love you guys. Take care.